from the campus of Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. West Virginia's college news leader, the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications. This is MU Report.
Hello, and welcome to the 5th edition of Marshall University's MU Report, a student-produced newscast of the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications. We're glad you're joining us. I'm Nicole Henderson.
And I'm Ishmael Witten. This broadcast will appear every 2 weeks statewide here on West Virginia Public Broadcasting this fall. Now, our top story. West Virginia has cut the funding to higher education by 4% in the mid-year cut. That means universities across the state are taking cuts and dealing with them in different ways. We sent MU Report's Brittany Morgan to see how informed Marshall students are about these cuts.
You want to come talk about budget cuts? With higher education funding making up less than 10% of the state's budget, I wanted to see just how much students know about budget cuts.
I don't know a lot about budget cuts at Marshall. I kind of heard some things in my political science class about it, but nothing that I would be familiar with really repeating because I'm not 100% sure.
Some students were unaware of cuts at Marshall.
Ashamedly, I'm a very uninformed individual when it comes to the budget cuts here.
And those students who did know weren't happy.
It sucks. I think that's stupid.
Although students seem to be unaware of state budget cuts, the effect is noticeable on campus.
And I feel like if they're cutting anything, like why would they cut the library? Because we're here for education.
When it comes to the budget, education is not where students feel money should be cut.
So we're losing a lot of things, and we need to figure out a better solution instead of cutting money out.
Brittany Morgan, MU Report.
Do you guys want to talk about budget cuts?
And the continued cuts to higher education are likely to cause another increase in tuition for Marshall students. Tuition and fees at Marshall are currently just under $7,000. That does not include room and board and other student expenses.
This year marks the 45th anniversary of the horrific plane crash that killed 75 beloved members of the Thundering Herd. Saturday, November 14th, the Thundering Herd will be playing its last home game of the season in honor of those who were lost 45 years ago. Brecken Wells has more on the story.
For the sixth time in Marshall University history, the Memorial Fountain Ceremony and the Thundering Herd will play their last home game of the season on the exact same day. For some, they are excited to attend the last home football game as well as witness the historical fountain ceremony. But for others, they worry the attendance may be lower than in years past for such an important honorary event of Marshall University.
I think it's a good idea just because before students couldn't go to it because of classes, so now it gives an opportunity for students to come to the fountain ceremony and not skip class. And I think it's also good because the community can get really involved in it and come and not have to skip work or stuff like that.
This year will mark the 45th anniversary of the tragic plane crash that shook Huntington's core.
Plane crash is really well known through our community, and I still think that it's a great idea to have it on the same day as the football game because people from out of town will come in for the last home game anyway.
Students and residents of the Huntington community have been brainstorming possible ways to tie the two meaningful events together, such as a march to the Joan C. Edwards Stadium after the ceremony. The city of Huntington, nonetheless, will be one united Kelly green and white family on Saturday supporting their Thundering Herd and their community. For MU Report, I'm Brecken Wells.
The fountain ceremony each year brings the community together to remember, and the water in the fountain is shut off for the season, not to be turned back on until the spring.
The struggles of a college student are never ending. With many things to focus on, multitasking and planning ahead are very important. But for one Marshall student, those tools are a bit more significant than most. Student athletes have a lot on their plate, from school to sports and even friends. For Taliqua Hamilton, you can now add to that list Mom. Hamilton is the mother of a healthy 8-month-old boy, Trent. With everything on her plate, teammates say Hamilton is taking it in stride.
I think she's more prepared and that she thinks ahead now that she has a child.
Hamilton, a Huntington native, transferred to Marshall after leaving the University of Cincinnati. Having sat out 2 seasons, players and coaches are eager for her to take the court.
We're very excited to have her back. I think she's she's a good person, and I think that her being around her team is very helpful, but 2, she's a talent.
While maintaining a steady grade point average and preparing for graduation in December, Hamilton says getting her work done isn't much of an issue, thanks to time management.
At first it was really stressful, but after I got on a schedule and I got used to it, it's not hard at all. It's actually fun.
Though juggling basketball, school, and parenting may be tough, one thing's for sure: Taliqua Hamilton is game. After defeating Kentucky Christian University in their exhibition game, Hamilton and the Lady Herd took on Morehead State to begin regular season play.
One would think that selling notes for classes would be unethical and somewhat illegal, but as Imani Spadley reports, you'd be surprised.
Paper plus pen times soup equals cash? Now, you may be wondering how all of this adds up. Well, the answer is quite simple.
Study Soup. Students sign up to take notes, upload the notes online, and sell them for cold hard cash. Courses that are considered acceptable note-taking courses are biology, algebra, calculus, and communications, just to name a few. Now, it seems like it would be a hard task, but to some, it's not hard at all.
I don't have to study the material, I just have to know what to listen for, write it all down or type it up. I'm not tested on on the information that I'm taking notes on. The worst part of it is literally sitting still for an hour at least.
Study Soup peer-to-peer marketplace was launched in 2014 and has reached over 100 campuses across the United States thus far. Marshall University and West Virginia University were very quick to jump on board. I guess the underlying question would be, would professors have an issue with this? Study Soup marketing intern doesn't think it's that big of a deal.
I think that professors just automatically assume people won't come to class, but I think they're looking at it the wrong way. And at Study Soup, it's like helping out your classmates get better notes.
While Study Soup has only been around on Marshall's campus since August, they've already had 300 students sign up and started selling and buying notes. Talk about supply and demand. There are no general requirements for becoming what the company calls an elite note-taker, but with a lot of dedication and patience, anyone can sign up. Imani Spadley, MU Report.
If you think you have what it takes to be elite, check out Study Soup's website.
As the semester draws to a close, students on campuses everywhere are trying to prioritize, manage their time, study for finals, and all will tell you it's stressful, as Jaylia Long found out.
As finals are near, many are stressed to the max.
Finals can be very stressful. A lot of students cram, and I have a lot of paper finals due, so I got to write these long papers. And I'm trying to write like midterms throughout the semester and all that, and then it all gets crammed on you at the last minute. It can be very difficult. I mean, you got to stay up late. You got a lot of pressure.
You have some students that relax in between studying, then you have some who buckle down and study all semester long.
I think for myself, as far as preparation for finals, is I try to stay ahead the whole semester.
Some students spend all semester preparing for their final exam, reading notes, and some read books. And for some students, procrastinating leads to more stress. Jaylia Long, MU Report.
As students prepare for finals, stress is becoming part of their daily routine.
Opportunities are meeting Marshall University's art students at the door, and many of them are taking advantage. An advertising agency has recently relocated to Huntington and has partnered with the Marshall University. Students at Marshall University's School of Art and Design are taking full advantage of the many opportunities offered by a resident art and design agency located within the newly renovated Visual Arts Center.
By nature of what we do as a full-service advertising, marketing, and public relations firm, we have a history of hiring and providing internships with Marshall University students that are pursuing degree programs in graphic arts and digital media.
The Barnes Agency offers semester-long internships to students at Marshall who are recommended by the professors and who can make it through the tough interview process.
They give you the experience, the hands-on experience, and they put you into the real-world scenario. I mean, you're working specifically and directly with all of the clients.
And really and truly, the beauty of the way we have this structured is that it is a paid internship.
The coolest thing that I got to do with the internship, there were a few things, but one of my favorite ones was, so we do the football intro video for the football games, and Jeff let me work specifically with our video production guy. So he let me work. He actually, I technically co-directed the football intro video, which is, who could say that like their first time interning at a place that somebody would let them do that, and he had the confidence in me.
Strategically positioning the local agency's satellite office in a place art students walk by every day not only encourages current students to apply for their internship, but catches the eye of prospective students as well.
I think there's a benefit to recruitment because when families come in to think about which school do they attend for art and design, that they see that we have this wonderful place for students to work right there to get this experience.
It's truly one of those situations that's a win-win for both us at Barnes Agency and Marshall University.
Now that a partnership has been made between the Barnes Agency and Marshall's School of Art and Design right here on 3rd Ave, students are able to take advantage of the opportunity to gain real-world work experience at their very own in-house agency. The Barnes Agency's partnership with Marshall University has encouraged other local companies, such as the Mackenzie Dow Furniture Showcase, to offer art students internships as well.
As we head towards the holidays, busy Huntington streets will only get busier, and crossing the streets to get on campus only becomes more of a safety concern. Samantha Godby has more of the story.
Marshall University's campus is guarded on either side by two bustling roads, 5th and 3rd Avenues.
This is why people get hit.
Over the years, incidents have occurred that have given these roads a dangerous reputation. From car accidents to pedestrians getting hit, everyone has heard one story or another about how dangerous crossing the roads here can be.
I know that multiple times I've had to stop for cars when they're turning left onto 5th Avenue.
Christine says she thinks it's most dangerous here in front of the Student Center. And other students seem to agree.
Half the time you're too impatient to get to class or whatever, so you don't wait for the walk signal, so you go running out in front of traffic.
People could have their headphones in and they don't hear a car coming behind them, and they see that sign that says walk, so they're walking but a car's coming.
Kind of reminds me of the video game Frogger.
Frogger seems to be a game that many students have to play as they rush to class. But the university says injury can be avoided by simply paying attention and using the crosswalks. Samantha Godby, MU Report.
We are Marshall, a proud family and a distinctive comprehensive university. We are one of West Virginia's oldest public universities. We honor tradition while looking toward the future. We are the foundation of opportunity for students in West Virginia and across the globe. We're committed to student success in the classroom and beyond. We are Marshall. Your best decision ever.
That's all the time we have for this edition. We are always on YouTube, and you can follow us on social media. Our advisor is Dr. Christopher Swindell. You can reach him at swindell@marshall.edu.
West Virginia Public Broadcasting will re-televise this show Monday. Our 2015-2016 schedule includes one more telecast after the Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you for watching MU Report. I'm Nicole Henderson.
And I'm Ishmael Witten. Have a terrific day.